For the most part, it's been a relatively quiet day in the FX market, but there's one currency that has been on the move for most of the New York session, and that's the British pound. The British pound has been under pressure, and it's actually one of the weakest G20 currencies today. And the reason for that is because there's a significant amount of Brexit risk over the next 5 days. Parliament began its debate on the Brexit bill, and so far it seems like a lot of the discussion is much more focused on what if Prime Minister May's Brexit deal is rejected by Parliament. So they're planning for the worst case scenario, assuming that it's going to happen. And it seems like those odds are rising by the minute, because yet again today, May lost a key Brexit vote that basically forces her to get the approval from the House of Commons on the Irish backstop, or any changes to the Irish backstop. So it seems like she's meeting hurdles every step of the way, and even though she's stretched the deadline for this vote from December to January, it doesn't seem like this longer deadline has allowed her to earn more support on her side. So there's a significant amount of Brexit risk over the next 5 days. That's part of the reason why the British pound has been underperforming, and I think it will continue to remain under pressure. Next week, we do have the big day, which is that we're going to have the UK Parliament vote on the Brexit withdrawal agreement, and if they say no to it and they say that this is not something they want to do, there's basically one of two choices. A, they either leave the UK with no deal, which would be disastrous for the British pound, and according to Bank of England Governor Carney, it could lead to as much of a 25% drop in the currency, which is obviously very significant. Or they have to go back to the drawing board and try to negotiate another deal and push out the deadline for leaving the European Union. All of that prolongs uncertainty or brings upon uncertainty, none of which is good for the currency. Now, of course, if they did reach a deal next week, that would be extremely positive, lead to a significant short squeeze. But as things stand now, it does not seem like that will happen. Today's weakness in the British pound was also compounded by the recovery in the U.S. dollar. For the U.S. dollar, we did have some Fed speak. Fed Chair Powell had some things to say about the economy. For the most part, he still thinks that they need to be patient. But what the market kind of latched onto was his comments on how they need to continue to reduce their balance sheet, which is positive for the greenback and contributed to the move lower that we saw in the British pound today. So continue to watch the pound, because over the next week it will be one of the biggest movers, and the Brexit vote is one of the most significant events of the year for the UK. So that will definitely be on our radar, and hopefully it'll be on yours as well. Thank you so much.